Uh,
The Flora there for the Florida Cricket Oval. Ssenyi up against Chitamba. First things first, let's watch what happened at the toss.
Good morning, and once again, you're welcome to Florida Cricket Oval down here in Kokonjeru. It is game day 3 of the SABULA T20 Cricket Challenge 2026. Out here in the middle, we are ready for the toss with the captains for the Ssenyi Warriors. Fortunate Aljuna, captain for Chitamba Sunrisers, Ahura Amos, umpires Naluman Sireste and Nachivule Elizabeth. We will have the toss. Tails is the call and it is heads. So Ahura, fortunate, you've won the toss. What are you going to do?
Going to bat first.
Uh, any particular reason why?
Yeah, I feel that we have to back ourselves up, given that we have the chance to play the 20 overs. So it's time to embark on our batting strength and see what we can get on the board. Runs on board matter.
Give us some insights into your squad.
Yeah, we have made one change that Wazim Wahib has, rather Wazim Abdul has come in, and thus has added onto our bowling prowess. So I think we can do better with him.
Thank you very much. Let me speak to the captain, Sunrisers. You lost the toss. What would you have done?
Actually, mine I would have bowled first, according to the conditions. Ground is still wet. I would have bowled first.
So it definitely works out for you. Any insights?
That's the news that has come
about your
from the
team?
center. The Ssenyi Warriors have won the toss and opted to bat first. My name is Evan Cyprian Sajab here in the comms, and I'm not alone. I'm joined in by the man who was earlier on at the toss, Solomon Rwamachigozi, to tell you the stories of this beautiful game. Solomon, good morning and welcome.
Thank you very much, Ivan. Another lovely day here down at Florida Cricket Oval. Yes, of course, it is the SABULA T20 Cricket Challenge 2026, proudly brought to you by Kingsley Children's Medical Center in Mukono, Mukono Cricket Community, Deep End Sports Media, and Cricket Uganda. But let's get to the action.
To the action, Kenneth Ogenroto with the first over. Angling away from the batter, and wide is the call from the umpire. Not a dream start. Wide is the first call from the umpire. The two umpires are standing in this game. Currently at the bowler's end, Nachibule Elizabeth, and at the batter's end, Nalumansi Reste.
Two ladies right at the start of their umpiring careers, but still active players as well.
And I think it's a good thing when you're still in your career as a player. Also have to make sure that you take on these other opportunities, because your reasoning as an umpire might help you as a player, because you get to understand the laws, you get to understand some things like aggressive appealing that might not be good for you. So it's really a good thing. First ball getting to the blade. No effort there from Davis at covers. And the first runs on board there from Jaffa Ochaya. It's a flashing blade that sends one to the boundary.
Yes, Ivan, speaking of opportunities, I myself did not see myself ever being a broadcaster, but it is wonderful. There are very many opportunities within the cricket ecosystem, as officials, as broadcasters, as administrators, not alone being just players. Again having an off-field set for him. Better this time, keeping that to only 2. Aggressive running in the middle between Ochaya and Boji.
Isaac Abaiga, they are in with Jaffa Ochaya. They've touched. Third man has some work to do. They are trying to put him under pressure. But the throw there from the deep is so nice. And he just makes sure that he cuts off that extra run. But when you look at these lineups, the Ssenyi Warriors didn't win their first game. They lost. Whereas the Chitamba Sunrisers managed to win the opener of this game, beating the Chiyindi Blasters. But the lineup for the Ssenyi Warriors: Jaffa Ochaya, Isaac Abaiga, Fortunate Ali Juna, Jackson Asiku, Hadadi Chiveru, Julius Woji, Nasur Damadi, Eric Matov, Augustine Mujuni, Abdul Wahid Serwada, and Charles Mbaza. Abdul Wahid Serwada being the change in that team. He's making his debut today. And looking at the other team of the Chitamba Sunrisers, Amos Ahura as the captain, Hamidu Munjugwa, Robert Owili, Raymond Kagera, Kenneth Ogenroth, the opening bowler, London Timothy Mwanguzi, Peter Kadu, Davis Sebaiga, Jovan Komagom, Rahim Yusuf, Gogo, and Abdul Aziz Tandia, former under-19 star for Uganda. Final ball of the over. Drifting away from the batter completely, and the dot ball. 8 runs coming off Kenneth Ogenroth is over. And the scoreboard reads 8 for none. Raymond Kagera will be coming in from the Forest End. Sema Africa Cricket Club is his trade. Previously at St. John's High School in Kauga. And currently, I think he's in advanced talks with some of the people who are supposed to pay for him school fees at Usoga College in Mweri. He bowls some slow pace, and now he will be coming in to bowl the over. The second one in this game, but 8 for none in the first. Expensive Basse.
Yes, a lot of player movements with the season and the league just starting. On the Ugandan cricket landscape, very many changes in the composition of teams.
Jaffa Ochaya, the opening batter, they are taking his sweet time before he faces underground break of events. Siraje Soga is confirmed after putting pen on paper for the James Sugar Cricket Club. He will be leaving Rounders, a club that he joined last season after leaving Sidon Lions. But this season he will be with the James Sugar. We have a game on Sunday at the James Sugar Oval where they will be taking on the Mukono Warriors in a repeat of a Division 2 final for last season. Both these two, James Sugar and Mukono Warriors, getting promoted last season. So Siraje Soga is expected to make debut on that game day. He will join the two brothers who already joined James Sugar in Henry Senyondo and Simon Sesaz. Should be an interesting matchup. But also Mukono Warriors strengthened their side. Rogers, I beg your pardon, Gerard Olipa, Fahadi Mtagana, Musa Majid Ramadan, all joining that Mukono Warriors team. Be an interesting affair. Of course, Mukono Warriors won their opening game as they played against Jaka, their home turf, winning by 2 wickets. Whereas James Sugar Mukono Warriors was out of action on match day 1. Full goes for a drive, but just an inside edge behind the wicket keeper, and they take the run.
Kageda right on the money from the off. Having third man sent out and fine leg. Backward point, cover, extra cover, and mid off within the ring.
A hit there from Isaac Abaiga, but straight to Hamidu Manyugwa there at mid on, and the run is taken right under his nose. A boundary in the first over, and still in the power play. Some work to do for the Ssenyi Warriors. They need to make sure that they exploit this power play to get themselves up and pick up the first victory. Whereas for the Kitimba Sunrisers, they will be looking at picking up the second, angling down, and wait is the call from the umpire. Not too much ball control there from Raymond Kagera, and he gives away some freebies.
The Warriors on the losing end of that match with the Giants, with only Ochaya and Boji coming to the party. Ochaya with 19 and Boji with 14.
Jaffa Ochaya knows that he will need to take responsibility in this game to try and make sure that he sees his side to something very visible. Does that go all the field over the head of the fielder? Yes, it does. Kenneth Ogenrot will have to fetch that one. But going back to my point of Jaffa Ochaya, when you look at his performance, in the first game, a catch is taken there. Goes for a flick, but doesn't get it over the head of the fielder at mid-wicket. Peter Kadu with the catch, and the first one for the Kitimba Sunrisers goes.
Runs for the loss of 1 for the Warriors on board.
Still talking about Jaffa Ochaya. In their first game yesterday when they lost to the Kachanga Warriors, he managed to score 19 of 15 at a strike rate of just slightly above 100. It was a reduced game. 6 overs aside, so somehow we will need to make sure that he gets his say to a solid total. There has been a shuffle in the batting lineup. Yesterday it was Amos Ahura opened the batting alongside Jaffa Ochaya because they knew they didn't have so many overs. Fortunate scoring, only 9 of 8. But this time round he comes in a bit late because he wanted to come in when the ball has been played. And he's the captain, Newman in, drifting away from him, and he will leave that one alone. He knows there are so many balls to deal with, and what a fine over there from Raymond Kagera. 5 runs given away, a wicket falling in that over, and the scoreboard reads 13 for 1 after 2. And he's the captain. The replay there right in your frame, drifting away from him, and that one which was left alone there by Fortunate
That's
Alijuna, and he's the captain. The word Alijuna means the one who will save. Drifting away
Ajuna,
from him,
the
and
savior.
will lead that one
That's
alone.
Ajuna is the captain for the Katosi Strikers. Fortunate Alijuna, also a captain. Whereas another of their OBs, Amos Ahura, is also captain for the
Newman in, drifting away
Sunrisers.
from him, and he will lead that one alone.
Sunrisers.
He knows, and he's the captain.
The all products of Nyakasura, Ahura means that God listens. Because for them, their naming has something to do with God.
That one alone.
Ahura, he listens.
Knows there are so
Alijuna,
many
he will
balls
save me.
to him.
Ajuna, he saves me.
Over there from Raymond Kagera. Everyone's giving away.
Both sides will need God on their side, definitely.
Good with starting for one.
Open Road continues from the Ginger Road end. There is a vacant gully area.
Human in. Drifting away from him, and he will lead that one.
Right in the block hole. Completely missed.
That's cornered away by the wicket keeper, and the run is taken.
Newman in. Drifting away from him, and he will lead.
Not the best of glove works there for Robert Owili. But Kenneth Ogenroad, just one wicket for him
And he's the
coming into
captain.
this game.
Newman in.
The only positive we can
Drifting
talk
away
about
from him, and he will
is
lead
his economy.
that
An
one
economy rate of
alone.
4.50. Pretty good in T20 cricket. But we'll be looking at Molly bowling some more extra pace to chip in some more. That is edged. Doesn't carry to the wicket keeper. Fortunate Alijuna playing one shot out of anger. And yet,
Oh,
it
a
only
cut
results into a dot ball.
there.
Again, Road Kenneth, there had been plans for him to play in the gold category of the league. But at the last minute, he was sent back to Mukono.
And the first one
Him.
for the
Doing an excellent job right now.
Kitimba Sunrisers.
It was there for him to hit, and he goes all the way. First maximum of the innings. You saw the intent from him on the previous ball. This time round, he connects and connects sweetly
Excellent job
over deep mid wicket
excellent job
and a first boundary in the innings.
Juna waiting
Was
for that
there for him to hit,
and
he
playing
goes
it on
all
the
way. First
right over
maximum
mid
of
wicket, deep mid wicket. Again, straying away from his offside line.
Anything will be close to Fortunate Alijuna should be something for him to dispatch away. He's also good on the onside. He swings hard again. This time round, the ball drifting away from him. That's a good comeback there from the youngster in Kenneth Ogenroad. He's been put under the pressure, sent for a maximum, but then he manages to amend his lines and just made sure that that's only a dot ball. Final ball of the over there to come from Kenneth Ogenroad. Play down the ground. One will be the call, and yes, the tally goes 8 off his second. 21 for 1 after 3 is the score.
Ivan, the weather playing a major role so far at the beginning of this tournament, but we're still managing to have some cricket.
And I tell you, Solomon, for today, I'm happy that they didn't start with a heavy power. For the previous 2 game days, we have been coming here when it has rained in the morning already. But today, the weather has been a bit fair for us, so though it is still playing hide and seek, as though the sun is coming out, as though there are drizzles. But then we hope the conditions be better. Raymond Kagera back for his second. Shimmy down the track. That carries the fielder. What a stunning catch there from London Timothy Mohanguzi. It was straying away from him at point, but he managed to adjust himself, judged it nicely, held onto it dearly, and Fortunate Alijuna has been showing some anger, departs.
Celebrations out in the middle. Sunrisers, as we have another look at that. struck,
That carries the fielder.
but
What is again?
young man at backward point, equal to the task. Width on offer.
That carries the fielder.
Alijuna perishes.
Arjuna goes, 2 wickets falling very, very quickly. And now it will be pressure. They'll need to dig themselves out of the pit that they have created by themselves to early wickets with not too big contributions. 21 for 2. The dangerous batters have both gone. Jaffa Ochaya quickly followed by his captain Ferdinand Alijuna. Ahura Amos with his troops, they will feel that somehow they can pick something out of this game. The Kitimba Sunrisers trying to make sure that they raise to the occasion. Raymond Kagera with his second wicket.
The Warriors trying to exploit the power play. Only managing to find fielders. We have not seen so much running in between the wickets. Every ball trying to be hit and hit hard. But it's space to exploit what is on offer. Very vacant slip and gully area with only third man down. Fine leg. So there are gaps that can be exploited. But the Warriors choosing to go hard.
Yeah, and of course the ball is not swinging. Maybe the reason that's why they don't have a gully. But Adadi Cheveru is the new man in there. Slashes that one to cover. Much better there from Davis. At least he manages to cut that one off. We saw one going past him in the first over that went for 4 from Jaffa Ochaya. This time round he manages to make sure that he cuts that one off to just a single. But good areas are being bowled by Raymond Kagera. When you saw his first wicket, he bowled it to the wicket, forcing the batter to play a flick, and mid-wicket took the catch. One drifting away from Ferdinand Alijuna. He thought it was the ball to cut, and the catch is taken at point. Good adjustments there. Pace off, and it will just be a dot ball there.
Very intelligent bowling from Kagera. The offside fully packed. He's not straying away from that line. Only 3 fielders on the leg side.
Raymond Kagera, also a product of the Push Cricket Academy. Jackson Ogwang. Isaac Alvega. That's an edge, and it carries the wicket keeper. Another one goes drifting away from him. He goes for a booming drive. And Isaac Abaiga perishes. A catch taken by the wicket keeper, Robert O.
Brilliant line from Kagera. Baiga's feet nowhere near the pitch of the ball, but still swinging his arms, only managing to find the wicket keeper.
That's the edge, and it carries the wicket keeper.
The pressure family on the Warriors. One brings 2 wickets, as it usually is. 2 wickets down, 3 wickets down so far in the power play. And they will have now to push very, very hard to post a respectable total in this match.
Yeah, that man they are bowling previously at Kololo Senior Secondary School. He used to tell his mates that I can bait you like a bed bag. And the bed bag here commonly is called a chiku. So his teammates love calling him chiku, and clearly he's a happy man because he knows his baits will really be the turning moment there for the Ssenyi Warriors. 3 wickets already falling in the over, all taken by Raymond Kagera. And now he comes in. Jackson Asiku is the new man in, known for the trade of bowling, but you'll have to do some work with the bat. They will have to bat deep and to bat long if they pick up themselves and post a formidable total.
Asiku yesterday falling on the first ball. trying to push from the start in that rain game. Now has plenty of balls to work with.
Throwing his hands at it, sloppiness from the wicket keeper. They'll take the run and buys. Oh, sorry, the umpire says that was wide from the batter. But nonetheless, runs for the team. Raymond Kagera will have to bowl that one again.
Ivan, a big day in the Cricket World Cup today.
A big day in the Cricket World Cup. Maybe a day take sides. And I think I'll start with. I will stand with last World Cup's runners-up South Africa to take down the All Blacks. That match will happen at 4:30 East African time. It will be played at Eden Garden in India. It's the semi-final, but as we get back to that one, that is hit all the way. Easy picking stuff from Jackson Asuku as he manages to clear the boundary for the second maximum in this match.
Asuku playing through the line of the ball, just over cow corner, picks up a maximum, bringing us to the end of the fourth over. The score is 32 runs for the loss of 3 for the Ssenyi Warriors. Kagera picking up 2 wickets in his over, having good figures so far of 3 for 16 runs in 2 overs. The sun coming out to play certainly this morning, and we have a bowling change from the Ginger Road end.
The bowling change. The first time we see spin being brought into the attack. Raymond Kagera, Kenneth Ogenroth after bowling their express pace. Now it will be the spinner to come into this attack. Long on, long off right at the boundary, we still into the power play. So the young one will need to exploit something there. Hit, just does it carry to the field that covers. Davis has been sloppy and they take the run right under his nose. He tried to quickly react, but then the direct hit doesn't see the batter get out. But the new bowler is Abdul Aziz Tandia, currently with the Tornado Bees Cricket Club, but also a former player for the Baby Cricket Cranes.
Sebanyiga's direct hit does not make up for his first mistake, allowing the batters to take a run off him, right in front of him. Somehow skipping from the umpire.
Tandia has had a very good run of form. He's been bowling so well for the Uganda emerging team. He's played so many practice games with the senior men's team with the Cricket Cranes, because they have a setup that says Uganda A Cricket Cranes and Uganda emerging training together. And all these make the selections of the different teams. So Abdul Aziz Tandia will make sure that he bowls his side very well. First time he's playing in this tournament. He's been unavailable for the previous 2 game days. And now here he comes to and make sure that he hunts for this wicket. He was part of that team that went to Nigeria last year during that under-19 ICC Men's World Cup qualifier. Uganda relegated, unfortunately. But then doesn't take over, pitched up and hit, but will be hit straight to the fielder at long on, who cuts that one off to just a single.
Ivan, the interesting statistic will be that spinners dominated throughout this tournament, and the teams that have batted first have usually gone on to win the match.
did an interesting statistic. Could have guided the captain. Maybe. Because he saw that whoever was winning the toss and batting first was winning. Maybe for Netali Juna sought it right to try and make sure that he bowls first. I beg your pardon, he bats first. But then runs not flowing for his side. They're knocking the ball around. But they're not just finding the gaps. Already 3 wickets lost in the power play and not so many runs on board there for the Ssenyi Warriors.
Tandia straying to the legs, flicked for another single, keeps the scoreboard ticking. Just a single dot ball to find this over, with the Warriors trying to break the shackles, avoid dot ball pressure. But he finishes right on the money, conceding only 4 in his first, bringing us to the end of the 5th over. The score is 36 runs for the loss of 3 for the Ssenyi Warriors.
The sun finally coming out as we get to the final over to complete this power play. Another spinner to be introduced into the attack in Hamidu Munigwa. Hamidu Munigwa, a young brother to Sawabi Yunus. Hamidu Munigwa and Abdulaziz Tandia play for the same club, Tornado Bees Cricket Club. And they are both on pitch last Sunday. Final ball of the over. There's a loud appeal. There was a sound. Hamidu Munigwa comes into the attack right away and he manages to peck Jackson Asiku, trying to create room to hit that one away. He only manages a little further. Robert Owili with the gloves. And another one goes for the Ssenyi Warriors.
Asiku not taking time to look at what Munigwa is bowling. Feathers it to a jubilant Owiri behind stumps. And another one bites the dust for the Warriors. They are in deep, deep trouble. His head was all over the place and going for power rather than precision.
If you could have the replay again, the instant appeal, the instant celebration from the wicket keeper, the instant celebration from the bowler, the disappointment there on the face of Jackson Asiku. The umpire also making an instant decision as the Ssenyi Warriors lose their 4th wicket on the first ball of the final over to end the power play. Somehow, every time there has been a growing partnership for the Ssenyi Warriors, the Sunrisers have gotten a way of breaking that partnership and made sure that they get back into the game and ahead of things. The Ssenyi Warriors have been caught hanging at 36 for a loss of 4.
Ivan, the Warriors going for power, but there are runs available. Take the ones, take the twos, creates pressure on the field, but currently the Sunrisers very comfortable, and with the bowlers bowling tight lines, all the pressure has gone back onto the Warriors, trying to create something out of nothing, but it would do them good to have a look in, get bat on ball and get on with your business.
Very well said there, Solomon. But the new man in is Augustine Mujuni, who is supposed to carry the team forward. He closes up his bat on a ball that he could have swung through. A full ball outside off stump is a ball to hit. But I think he's playing for caution, that ball not drifting back to him. I mean, Munigwa is a cunning man. He knows there are some that he bowls flat and some that he bowls drifting into you. So he will be making sure that he makes Agustin Mujuni dance at the wicket.
Ivan, for a batter psychologically, as long as you're getting bat to ball, it is only a matter of time before you start scoring. As we see Mujuni picking up his first runs.
Yeah, Mujuni getting off the mark there. Hadadi Kiveru, 3 of 5. Axin Mujuni, 1 of 3. They should make sure that they bat long to see their side get to something that they can bowl at. 37 for 4 is not very good in the power play. Beaten for all money is Stumping, and the umpire says yes, he was all out of his crease. And just like that, Hamidu Munyigwa manages to exploit the fact that Hadari Chibiru did move his feet. Stumping by the wicket keeper, and the 5th one for the Ssenyi Warriors goes.
Jubilations all around for the Sunrisers. Munyigwa drawing the man forward, taking a walk from his Chris Owiri left with the glove work. The 5th over falls for the Ssenyi Warriors.
Despite a few balls that have gone past him, Robert Owiri, he has been doing some handy glove work there behind. 2 catches taken and a Stumping. 3 dismissals already for the side. That wicket-keeper batter there in Robert Owiri, former player for the Baby Cricket Cranes, part of the team that went for the Under-19 World Cup qualifiers last year in Lagos, the city, one of the cities in Nigeria. He's really done a very tremendous job, but there is nothing to take away from that bowling display there from Hamidu Munyigwa. Started this over with a wicket, 2 dot balls, a single, another wicket, a ball to spare. We don't know what this will turn out to be, but the man has been really putting up a very good show there for the Chitamba.
I think somebody needs to remind that the brilliant over from Munyigwa, picking up 2 wickets for 1, leaving the Ssenyi Warriors at 37 runs for the loss of 5 after 6 overs. Julius Boji and Mujuni at the crease for the Warriors.
Tandia beats him for all money, and he disturbs the furniture again. Agustin Mujuni going for a bombing drive. Agustin Mujuni, a man who supports Arsenal when he departs. People at the pavilion call him Arsenal because Arsenal will be playing Brighton today in the Premier League. But another one goes. And the 6th one for the Ssenyi Warriors.
Tandia bowling wicket to wicket, beats the front foot for that wicket. Ball turning in. Mujuni having to depart for a paltry score.
That one beat him for all money. He knew when he had that funny sound, the awkward sound of the furniture behind. Axel Mujuni, it was time for him to make the long walk. Abdulaziz Tandia, so much known for his leg spin, but he has those darts that he bowls and they drift back. The trouble, the havoc, all continuing its era, its horror, as you see that the faces of the Chitamba Sunrisers batters don't look so happy. They got victory in their opening game, beating the Shendi Blasters, but things don't look to be going their way. Nasur Damandi is the new man in Africa Cricket Club. Didn't play last Sunday, but last season he played some good cricket for the Mukono Development Cricket Club, and now he makes his way to the crease. Two new men at the crease, none off none for Nasur Damari and none off one for Julius Woji. Nasur and Woji are both in the same school, St. Cornelius SS Calagade. He shows you that he's seen the ball, but the idea for him not moving his feet is a risky venture there. Nasur
completing the pose for the photographers all over the oval. But you will have to be mindful of the wily Tandia, who has variety. A complete missed opportunity behind stumps. Nasuru opting for power, but nowhere near to the pitch of the ball.
I think he should just make sure that he times the ball nicely, drop and run, get it into the gap. Beaten completely. He didn't know where that one passed, but it was close to the blade, close to the stumps. Missed everything apart from the wicket keeper. Good lines there being bowled with Abdul stand here. He started this over with a wicket and manages to squeeze in more 3 dotty balls. What a final over from Abdul Aziz. This time round, yes, that is it down the ground. London Timothy Muhanguzi with work to do at mid-off. And Nasuru Damadi gets off the mark.
Seems like Tandia is bowling bombs, as we call them, but it is Boji to first.
Plays it that one to the square leg area. And that single will mean that we've gotten done with the 7th over. Just 2 runs from the over and a wicket falling in that over. And after 7, the scoreboard reads 39 for a loss of 6.
What a great opportunity for the youngsters, Nasul and Boji, to play as many balls as possible in this innings. As you usually find that the established batters take up most of the heavy carrying of the batting, but now a great opportunity for these two.
A great opportunity. Hamid Munjugwa back with the ball. Beats him for all money, but that just strays over the stumps. I tell you, these two have got an opportunity to bat long, and if they are just patient, maybe they will get some runs. But it doesn't take out the experience from these two bowlers who are currently bowling, Hamidu Munyigwa and Abdulaziz Tandia, both with Tornado Bees Cricket Club in the gold category. Tornado Bees Cricket Club managed to beat 7 Lions on the opening day, on match day 1 of the UCA of the Cricket Uganda Men's Foot Over League. That match was played at Lugogo Cricket Oval, which even featured the Kenyan international David Oboya.
Boji yesterday for the Warriors made a brisk 15 when the cause was truly lost. That must give him great confidence even for today. Munyigwa straying away beyond the tram lines.
And that has been the idea there for Hamidu Munyigwa. He has those balls that drift in and those that drift away. He knows the only way for him to create the chance with the gully fielder in place. A stamping is effected. He was out of his crease. Clearly you could see it even from here. He didn't mark his territory well. Nasul Damadi, the second stamping in the match. 4th dismissal by the wicket keeper. And just like that, another one goes for the Ssenyi Warriors.
The most funny thing about Smith was that he stayed where he was. No effort to get back. Chris and Owidi completing that. Munyigwa drawing the man forward. Very poor foot movement. The Warriors clearly now in lots and lots of trouble. The 7th wicket falling for just 41 runs. And we still have plenty of balls to play, because this is just the 8th over running, sorry. But the figures from Munyigwa, 3 wickets for 3 runs so far.
Yeah, the man who is making his debut in this tournament will be the new batter, too much known for his pace bowling. But now he'll have to do some work with the bat. Wahid Serwada is the new man in. Comes in with a swaggerific run. Something about Hamidu Munyigwa and Serwada These two have both been under the Bush Cricket Academy. These two both traveled with the team when it went to Nairobi last year to take part in the Obuya Cricket Invitational Tournament, a tournament that offers an opportunity to so many of the hubs that are around the East African region to make sure that they get some play time and some international exposure. I'm happy that I was part of that team that traveled. I went with them as their media liaison and they played some exciting cricket. Came out as champions after beating the Obuya under-19 team in that final, which was played at Lanana School down just a few meters from the road that heads to Mombasa. So clearly they are now, they know each other quite well because they've trained together. Good foot movement, good anticipation, good shape, and the dot ball there for Serwada to face. Just one fielder outside the 30 at Cow corner. Hit, but not quite well. Half-hearted dive there from Hamidu Munyigwa. And another run added onto the total. Wahab Serwada is off the mark. Final ball. Widith on the offer, 2-2 wide. The umpire says no, that was not in reach of the batter. Julius Woji. And the extras onto the tally. You'll have to go that again. Flashes it over the cover area. Raymond Kagera will see that one land safely behind him. Just one is taken, and that marks the end of the over. Hamidu second over goes for 5. The wicket falls in that over, and after 8, the scoreboard reads 44 for a loss of 7.
Halfway point of the first innings of match number 5 in this Sabula T20 Cricket Challenge, proudly brought to you by Kingsley Children's Medical Center in Mukono, Mukono Cricket Community, Deep End Sports Media, and of course Cricket Uganda. Do not forget to follow us on all our socials: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok.
I would authoritatively say that all the updates of this tournament are right there. Also, if you want to get match day reports, they at the Cricket Uganda website, so make sure that you reach out for it. Bowling change. London Timothy Mhanguzi there starts off with a dot ball. That one was going down the leg, and the idea from the batter, Julius Woj, was okay. Just if his foot movement didn't favor him, but he saw that it was landing onto him and wanted to play it down. Straight and hit. Not well enough, but they will push very quickly. They will take the 2 runs because clearly the fielder who was standing at short, fine leg in Komagom Jovan had to cover a lot of distance to pick that ball from towards deep of square leg. Hence a chance for the second and extra run. Swings hard, but doesn't even get anywhere close to it.
Muhanguzi having an offside oriented field. Gully point covers surprisingly no long off but just a mid off, and that is the line he should bowl. A little bit wide, but that is the idea for him, to bowl to his field.
A packed offside but with no extra cover. Protection outside only on the on. Longo on and cow corner. Somehow these two are trying to make sure that they keep the innings alive. Trying to straight on. One off to for Abdul Wahid, sorry. Serwada and Julius Woj is on 6 of 9. 4 runs of London Timothy Muhanguzi's first over. And after 9, the scoreboard reads 48 for a loss of 7.
with most of the established batters for the Warriors back in the hat. Boji and Serwada can just push on a little bit, play smart, look for those singles. They're running quite well in the middle.
So what looks like a defendable total on this pitch, given the conditions which are even becoming better, because now the sun is starting to come out. But before you get to that answer, there is a bowling change. The bowler who is coming to bowl has been known for bowling pace. That man there in Komagom Jovan. Komagom Jovan, formerly at Kololo Senior Secondary School, but currently at St. John's High School, Kauga. In the two national tournaments that were played in Jinja, one being hosted at Usoga College Mwiri, and another one being hosted at Jinja Senior Secondary School. Komagom Jovan played in both, and he played for Kololo Secondary School. Him alongside Chidega could carry the team up to the semi-finals. They had Obere, the current wicket keeper, in their outfit, but a catch is taken there. Julius Weji thought it was the ball to hit. Raymond Kagera with the catch, and the 8th wicket falls.
Boji was looking good, but unfortunately this time could only manage to find the fielder.
Wicket keeper in their outfit, but a catch is taken there.
As we look at the celebrations, Komagum, the ball hitting in the middle of the bat, away from the sweet spot, managing to find the fielder, and Boji will have to go. 51 runs for 8 wickets for the Ssenyi Warriors.
It's only the opening game on match day number 3. There is another affair between the Kachanga Giants and the Nsonga Royals, which will happen later on in the afternoon. This very ground, current run rate just 5.46, 51 for 8 after 9.2 overs. Full and hit. He puts some fingers onto it, but it will go all the way. A shot out of anger from the new man, and a boundary to get off the mark.
Right within the hitting arc. Full ball. Bowler unable to save himself. And a desperate but in vain effort from Abdul Aziz.
Yeah, Abdul Eric Matov off the mark right away. No movement, he just works that one away from the pads. And the dot ball.
He's playing completely like a bowler, as you would expect. Goes hard, throwing his arms at that one, but picking up no runs.
So whenever time the bowlers come to the crease to bat, they know he knows he will come back again and bowl. So he has to make sure that there is something that he can bowl at. If maybe they could straight on and get close to maybe the 8 runs mark, maybe they'll have something to bowl at. That's why you see he is swinging at everything. And of course, that's the idea there from the coach. Sending the slogans to make sure that they pile up as many runs as they can. Then you come out and see how to defend them. But 7 off Komagom Giovanni's first over. And at the end of the 10th over, scoreboard reads 55 for a loss of 8.
Ivan, I tell you, there is nothing that gives bowlers pleasure like making runs, because their job is to come and bowl, give it to you, find wickets. But when they get that extra, they are highly motivated. And always watch out for a bowler who has made some runs in an innings.
Landed Timothy back with the ball. Starts with one drifting away from Serwada Wahid Ahmed. His teammates nicknamed him Dogly, a dog from the Lee family. I remember when we were still young, they used to ask that Jet Li, Bruce Lee, are all from the Lee family. So I wonder why it's what he loved to nickname himself. You know, many of the kids who come from the ghetto have that celebrity mentality, so they come with some bit of swag. So I hear some names, Dogly. There. It becomes very happy when you call him that name, by the way. Nowhere close to that one in that wild swing of Eric Mukisa.
His head is completely up and he will definitely continue missing those balls. Mwanguzi on the money.
Eric Mukisa and Mwangu's teammates in Mukono Development. But that is hit over the head of London Timothy Muhanguzi. And just one run. Somehow Abdul Wahid Serwada and Eric Mukisa have found a way of making sure that they add some little runs, because both these two are pace bowlers, so they know they will have to come back again and bowl. So they are looking at something close to 70 or 80. Maybe it could be favorable for them in the slot. And played. Tandia there had a chance of taking a shot at the stumps, but turned down the opportunity.
These two finding some runs, keeping the scoreboard ticking, enjoying themselves.
Final ball of the over. Hit over the head of London Timothy Mwanguzi, and comfortably they get 4 runs from the over. They'll be happy that somehow runs are coming. More 5 overs to play in the innings, and at the end of the 11th, the scoreboard reads 59 for a loss of 8.
A pedestrian 5.36 scoring rate for the Ssenyi Warriors, coming off that loss from yesterday's encounter. Yet to get any marks onto the log.
Giovanni Kwamago back with the ball in his hands. He'll be bowling from the forest end again. That is hit. Power. But it doesn't go very far. Not too much control in that shot. That was wide. It could have run around any other day. But in the end, that nice shot there from Eric Mukisa results into only just 1 run.
The ball going to that position we used to call long stop, with Kiran Pollard famously adopting it while playing. It is no longer very conventional and hardly used by any team. So one of the safest places you can hit the ball.
So when it's getting to midnight in the US, here in Uganda, it's dawn. So I always wake up in the morning to watch some bit of basketball action. Today I was watching the Lakers taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. At one time in the game, the Los Angeles Lakers were trailing by about 6 points in the final quarter, but they managed to overturn that result and won the game 110 on 101. They won it by just 9 points. It really tells you so much about self-belief. And when you see a man like LeBron King James at 41 years of age still doing things there for the Los Angeles Lakers, really nice things to do. Plays with his son, and should be a motivation for many.
A self-confessed Lakers fan here as well. We are coming off 2 consecutive losses, but now we have 3 in 2. But that is a scare from Matovu, and the captain Ahura completes the catch.
Yeah, there was a scare previously on the third ball of the over, and in the end, he thought still he could make sure that he exploits that area. This time round, good judgment and expression from Amos Ahura. Comfortably takes the catch, and the 9th wicket goes. A scary growing late partnership between Eric Mukisa and Abdul Wahid is broken, and the last batter will make his way to the crease.
63 runs for the loss of 9 for the Ssenyi Warriors in the first innings of game number 5 on match day 3 of the SABULA T20 Challenge 2026.
Charles Bazira is the new man in St. John's High School, Kauga. The last man to make his way to the crease. Only one fielder standing outside the arc at 45 yards towards the cow corner. And the Bazira Charles right in there. Komagom Jovan has picked up 2 wickets in his 1.5 overs and is gone for 11. Final ball of the over. Does he wrap it up? No. It doesn't wrap it up. It's just a dirty ball. And the fine over from Jovan Komagom comes to an end. He's given away 4 runs. Picked up a wicket. And at the end of the 12th, scoreboard reads 63 for a loss of 9. Back to the question, what looks like a defendable total here for Solomon? You earlier on somehow did answer that question. Then also, what's the idea between these two batters? Well, just 1 wicket could drive up the innings. Should they keep there and make them a little more tired maybe, or they should go for a few slugs? Whether they get out or not, let them get whatever they have and come back and try to defend.
I'm always of the view that you should always play out your overs. So the first task I would require of them is to keep going. The bad balls usually come. Yeah. Picking up one of, turning a single into a double off that. So just anything above 80. But still a long way off for the Warriors.
Above 80, a long way. London Timothy Muhanguzi with the ball. That is to the pads and it's whipped away by Abdul Wahid out of anger. Work to do for the sweeper, Hamidu Munyugwa. And 2 runs added onto the tally. Fine work. They are being done by Hamid. Making sure that he doesn't let that one run away. And somehow, the Kitimba Sunrisers feel that the end to this innings has been delayed a bit. Frustration is starting to come their way. Down the ground, no runs.
Serwada looking more like an opener than a tailender. Probably had what I had to say. Playing, yes, you wait for the bad balls.
And I love the fact that he's trying to put the fielders on pressure. As soon as he hits the ball, he shows intent of running to make sure that he forces you into making a mistake. So that you go for that overthrow. There are not turnovers in cricket. But in the sport of basketball, you see those bit of turnovers. Balls being lost without shooting, poor passes. So somehow when you fake, you can easily land into a turnover which do not exist in cricket. But somehow these two still remaining in their final ball of the over. Doesn't carry to the fielder and they'll take the run right under his nose. Not the very best of throws, but the backup is superb. And that single marks the end of the 13th scoreboard reading, 68 for a loss of 9.
The last pairing for the Warriors showing more intent than those that have preceded them. Picking up the singles, good running, turning singles into doubles, and capitalizing on those bad balls. Selwada now at 9 in 14.
There will be a bowling change. Abdul Aziz Tandia gets the ball. Amasahura has sent him with only one task to come and wrap up the tile. Komagom Jovan had an opportunity in the previous over, got only 2 wickets, but now it will be Aziz Tandia. Aziz Tandia coming right arm round the wickets. As a batter, you would see the ball coming close to your body. So the idea is trying to whip it off your body. And the man there being called, the dogly man being called there by his dugout. He needs to play with caution as Aziz is coming right arm around the wickets and angling the balls into him. You see there is a fielder there at mid-wicket standing right close. He swings hard and misses. Abdulaziz Tandia does the task that has been set for him to do. He wraps up the tile, knew that Wahid Ahmed was going across the line. Fancha is disturbed, and the Ssenyi Warriors are all out for just 68.
A rush of blood to the head from Serwada. He was looking good, but this time going across the ball, the line of the ball, and bowled by Tandia.
Good work there from the Kitimba Sunrisers, who are looking for their second victory in the tournament. The captain knew that he had to end this innings, and just as soon as he gives the ball to Abdulaziz Tandia, the innings come to bed. It's the Ssenyi Warriors taking on the Kitimba Sunrisers in this opening game on match day number 3 of the SABULA T20 Challenge cricket tournament happening here at Florida Cricket Oval. And if you just joined us, I'd love to inform you that the Ssenyi Warriors won the toss and opted to bat first, but the decision quickly backfired. 9:07 for the opening batter, Jaffa Ochaya. 3 of 8 for Isaac Abaiga. Nothing much to talk about this scorecard apart from the 7 from Fortnite Alijuna, 9 from Jackson Asiku, 8 from Julius Woji, and the 9 extras have been given away by the Kitimba Sunrisers. Quite many in the context. When you look at the bowling card, Raymond Kagera and Hamidu Munyigwa were very unplayable. Hamidu Munyigwa completing with the most economical figures. He bowled 2 overs, picked up 3 wickets, and went for just 6 runs, an economy rate of 3. Raymond Kagera 3 wickets have been at an economy of 8, and they came from 2 overs where he's gone for 16 runs, 2 wickets for Abdulaziz Tandia in 2.2, but his economy the best for the entire team, 2.57. Jovan Komagom also chipped in with 2 wickets in his 2 overs, an economy rate of 5.50. We come to the end of the first innings, and as we enjoy the highlights, we will take a short break, and we will return with the second innings, the batting innings of the Kitimba Sunrisers. 69 for them to pick up victory and remain unbeaten in the tournament. 64 runs for the Kitimba Sunrisers to pick up victory this morning here at Florida Cricket Oval. The field set for play. The two umpires back to make sure that they see us through this match. And as we get ready for the batting innings of the Kitimba Sunrisers, the Sunrisers have a chance of going on top of the table. They have a good net run rate, a net run rate of 4.5429, whereas the Katosi Strikers have a good net run rate of 2.600. These are the only teams right at the top. Katosi leading the table with 2 wins in 2 matches, whereas for the Kitimba Sunrisers, they won their opener and they are looking for the second victory here. Ssenyi Chiyindi right at the bottom winless, whereas Nsonga Royals is in 4th position also with no victory. Kadu Peter and Hamidu Munjigwa are the opening 2 who have been sent to start off the chase for the Kitimba Sunrisers, whereas Nasuru Damandi has the ball in his hands to open the bowling from the Forest end. Remember, watching this game, ladies and gentlemen, it's broadcasting live from the Florida Oval, Deep End Sports Media, Kings, the Children's Center, Mukono Cricket Community, and Cricket Uganda, all organizers of the tournament. My name is Evan Cyprian here in the comms. Just moments from now, I'll be joined in by Solomon Duwamachigozi so that we take you through this game. But first ball of the run chase. Good pace, good movement, a dot ball to start off the runs defense, and already a positive for the Ssenyi Warriors. Good afternoon, Solomon, and welcome back from that break.
Thank you very much. Sorry, Ivan. Yes, the Sunrisers are trying to back the trend of the first teams batting first winning, coming off a victory, obviously, in the very first match of the tournament. Very interesting field setup for Hamid. Wide gully, backward point, extra cover, mid-off, and middle.
Second ball. Shemi, he goes to the off and waits for it, plays it down. But there is good protection there from the fielder at mid. Off, cutting off that one to just 1 run.
I love the fact that they have given lots of opportunities to these youngsters. Hamid usually doesn't, Nasul Damandi usually bowls the mid overs, but now taking the new ball. Opportunity for him to learn on the job.
You'll have to learn quickly because there is no room for error, and as I spoke about the learning, he has learnt everything and forgot nothing. Sprays down, and that's a wide already. They need to make sure that they avoid these weights as much as they can because they're not working with so many runs. 63 in 16 overs is not really too many runs. So they'll need to bowl the good areas if they pick up something in this match. They'll have to amend the line. Nasur. That's lovely. Fine stop to make sure that Kadu Martin doesn't get off the mark. Kadu Martin and Nasur Damadi from the same school. St. Cornelius SS down here. Place called Ingogwe Kalagala. Many people know this place as in Kokonjeru because it's one of the popular areas around. I think because of the sisters and the little sisters in Kokonjeru. And I think because of Kokonjeru being a division. Hard hit down the ground. And good work there from the captain, Fonet Aljuna, cutting off that one to just 1 run.
The Sunrisers just requiring 4.31 at the beginning of this match to achieve victory, going steadily in this first over with 1 ball for Nasul to complete the first over.
Hit. The sound of the bat could tell the message. It was hit to the vacant cow corner area by Hamidu Munyugwa. And the boundary trap up the over. 9 off the first, and the scoreboard reads 9 for 1. Pick up at the 9 for no loss after 1.
Another look at that boundary from Munyigwa. Selwada receiving the treatment in the second over coming from the Forest end. Ivan Cypriot Krenz preparing for a tour to Namibia.
Getting ready for a tour in Namibia. We'll get back to that one, Solomon.
Coming off from the Ginger Road end, starts off with a wide. Another freebie from the bowler. The Warriors have to be mindful. The score that they posted was not that big, but now gets one in the slot for the first leg of delivery of the second over. Some changes in the field from Alijuna, bringing in covers, sending point to backward. The bowler playing for the other side at the moment, having only bowled one Lego delivery so far.
That is too much generosity for the Ssenyi Warriors. They're not working with so many runs and they are leaking many. Haddad Chiveru not really finding his good bowling areas, and the ball is going down. He's giving away many already. He needs to make sure that he makes amendments. Yes, that's yet another one. But you brought up a conversation of the Cricket Cranes team that will be heading to Windhoek, Namibia, the Cricket Cranes tour to Namibia. The Cricket Cranes is the senior men's team for Uganda. 3 debutants in that team: Gerard Olipa, Charles Msemeza, and Anas Baig going for their debuts. Interesting squad: Riyazat Alisha, Captain Robinson Oboya, Simon Sesazi, Kenneth Waiswa, Seras Kakuru, Juma Miyaji, Cosmas Cheuta, Bilal Hassoun, Henry Senyondo, Joseph Waguma, Matthew Musinguzi, and the 3 debutants: Olipa, Gerald, Charles Msemeza, and Anas Baig, right in that team. They will be leaving Uganda on the 15th of March, and their first game will be on the 18th of March. A T20 against Namibia A, then another T20 on the 19th against Namibia A. Then on 21st, 23rd, and 25th they will play. I beg your pardon, on 21st and 23rd they will play Namibia in 50 overs, or they play the Namibia A on the 25th of March before they return to Uganda. This tournament helps the Cricket Cranes of Uganda to prepare for the Division 2 World Cup qualifiers that will happen in Nigeria later on in the year, but it also helps them, the 50 overs cricket that they will play, help them to get ready for the 50 overs Challenge League B tournament, which will happen in Tanzania later on in the year. So really the tournament comes in at a very good time. Uganda still chasing ODI status and also chasing for a second appearance in the World Cup. Of course, with Zimbabwe qualifying for the Super 8, maybe there will be an extra spot for Africa. That is hit by Hamid Munigwa, and it will go all the way for a maximum, a bit twist up by Haddad Kiveru, and a big hit there from Hamid to bring up that maximum in the second over.
Yes, news from the team. Many people will be very happy to see the return of Simon Sesazi.
Yeah, of course, it's excitement. They are saying Simon Sesazi's return. He played for Uganda in the World Cup last year, but he had a bad run of form. But again, getting back to the game, Hamid Omunyugwa showing anger early. He's just making sure that this game ends in no quick time. 32 already on board as we come to the end of the second over. Current run rate has been at 16 every over. Hamid Omunyugwa is 19 of 7. Peter Card 5 of 6. And after 2 scoreboard reads, 32 for no loss.
Very expensive over from Haddad Chivedu. 19 coming off that one. Quite very many extras. Opportunity missed by the young man, but he's now playing with the big boys.
And I tell you, when you look at the start of the over by Haddad Chivedu, he was giving away wides because he failed to adjust his lines. When he adjusted in lines, he bowled in the zones. Hamid Munigwa kept watching for him and took him on. And as we head into the third over of the game, 37 more runs are needed in 14.0 overs, exactly 84 balls with 10 wickets at hand, at a required asking rate of just 2.64 for the Chitamba Sunrisers pick up victory. A bowling change right away. Wahid Serwada introduced into the attack, coming in to replace Nasur Damadi. The idea there from the captain is keeping a seamer and a spinner into the attack. And now the left arm bowler will be coming over the wickets. Pace off. And just a left touch there from Peter Kadu.
Peter Kadu, obviously a student from St. Cornelius Kalagala, turning out for SSC Cricket Club in the men's league.
Yeah, he's a wicketkeeper batter, but unused in this game with the gloves. His side went for the experienced Robert Oli, who played for the under-19 team, but he can also hold well behind. That is a hit, flashes it over the fielder. It runs, and they have a chance of picking up two. Jackson Asuku goes for a direct hit, but Hamidu Monyugwa was safe and dry in his crease.
Great fielding from Masiku. I think the Warriors would be quite disappointed with themselves. Didn't finish the overs. They are allotted overs in the first innings. But, well, anyway, runs on board are runs on board. But the Sunrisers clearly in the front right now as we take another look at that opportunity. Direct hit with Munyegwa already in his crease.
And I think the idea was good. As soon as they hit that ball into the gap, the fielder in the deep, Jackson Asuku, knew that they were going to push quickly for the second run. So he knew that he had to make sure that he goes for that direct hit. For net generating from there, the captain for the Ssenyi Warriors. The Ssenyi Warriors currently still searching for their groove. But this game already looks like it will slip away from them. 35 for no loss after 2.3 overs with the 2 set batters at the crease. 19 off 7 for Hamid and 8 off 9 for Peter Chiveru. I beg your pardon, for Peter Kadu. The wicket keeper there, Hande, with that comeback. But at first the ball had strayed away from him.
Boji Martin taking the gloves in this encounter for the Warriors. A brief cameo in the batting innings, trying to push his team to a respectable total. But that is all done and dusted, as it is all about the Sunrisers.
Yeah, the Warriors not playing like real Warriors. That was right under his nose. The pickup sloppy, the throw not so convincing, and the run is taken. This is match day number 3 of the SABULA Cricket Challenge T20 Cup happening here at Florida Cricket Oval. And this tournament is sponsored by King's the Children's Medical Center, Deep End Sports Media, whereas Mukono Cricket Community and Cricket Uganda are the organizers for this prestigious tournament. Bat and pad, so the appeal will go in vain. The umpire keeps her head down. It will be just a dot ball to mark at the end of the over. Scoreboard reading 36 for no loss. A good bowling this was there from Abdul Wahid Serwada as he gives away just 4 runs, making some bit of amendments and keeping his side in the context.
Great comeback, something that you would require of your bowler, with the previous over going for quite many. Yes, a few dot balls, but the Sunrisers well within the required rate. And we see a bowling change from the Ginger Road end with Jackson Asiku taking on the ball. Of course, it is a 6-team tournament, having the Warriors, the Giants, the Blasters, the Sunrisers. Still adjustments being made in the field by Aljuna, sending the man to backward point. Fine leg. Cover hugging the 30-yard line. Mid-off. One man out in the deep at long on.
Ferdinand Alijuna, the captain for the Ssenyi Warriors, tossing the ball around to see who gets for him the first wicket. That was nowhere close to Hamedu Munyugwa. He swung hard, but he didn't get anywhere close to the ball. New Zealand plays South Africa in the group stage game. And South Africa emerged victorious in that game. But then in Kolkata, there is a semi-final affair later on at 5 p.m. in India, whereas it will be 4:30 here in East African time. Lot awaits. Will it be New Zealand Zealand making it to the final, or South Africa, who were in the final in the previous edition, going there again. I did get your prediction, Solomon, on who might make it to the final.
South Africa always looks ominous during the group stages and also the semi-finals. Usually chokes, as we call it, during that time. They need to be up on their game. Their coach has come out to say, when asked about the choking, that he has never been there. That is Conrad Shukri.
Conrad Shukri, but that's hit up in the air. Catch is taken on the second chance there by Serwada. And Peter Kadu, who played that one against the swing, will be the batter to perish. Out of nothing, the Ssenyi Warriors pick up something. And somehow the ball is tossed to Jackson Asiku and he manages to pick up the first wicket for the Ssenyi Warriors. They will need many of these if they pick up a result in this game.
Definitely. Asiku is one strike bowler you can depend on. Always incisive. Picks wickets at vital times. I see the completion of that catch from Serwada, supporting his bowler. A wild hack from Kadu. To get back to the conversation of the World Cup, both New Zealand and South Africa having heartbreakingly come close several times. We cannot forget that final between New Zealand and England that went to a super over.
And it was decided by a certain overthrow, but England being victorious in that edition. But now today, an exciting affair awaits. But the captain for the Kitimba Sunrisers, Amos Ahura, will make his way to the crease. Played for Uganda in the Under-19 World Cup in 2022 in the West Indies. He manages to get off the mark right away. Amos Ahura, former player for the Baby Cricket Cranes, currently playing for the Abojo in the domestic league. It's a Division 1 outfit, but you don't take anything away from Amos Ahura. He's played for Nyakasura School and represented them at the Boys Nationals. Nyakasura School, a team that is still looking for its first silverware in those competitions, but they will be hosting again in Fort Portal later on in the year. Amos Ahura, also part of the team that played in the finals, in the UG20 finals for the Abojo, as they didn't go past the resurgent Ismaili community team. Jackson Asku's first over goes for only 2 runs and manages to pick up a wicket. Fine figures. And if somehow the Ssenyi Warriors are to keep the Kitimba Sunrisers under the pumps, they will need so many fine overs like this one to make sure that they keep the pressure on.
$38 for 1 for the Sunrisers at a healthy run rate of 9.50. A bowling change from the Forest end.
Yeah, the bowling change. We'll see Agstin Mujuni getting the ball. He bowled the final spell in this tournament. His only over that he has bowled in this tournament went for just 2 runs. So he will need to bowl another fine spell. Maybe make sure that he adds some more wickets on those 2 runs, because dot balls may not see them get to the finishing line, but they will need to get those wickets as much as possible. That is hit by Amos Ahura. Quarter is the call. There is a fielder, but he will see that one land right under his nose. Not too much effort there from Wahid Serwada, and 3 runs taken.
Serwada guilty of going round the ball.
with the shouts coming from the dugouts and all over the oval indicates that that ball was palmed right over the boundary by Jackson Asiku.
Jackson has to listen to the noise of the fans, and somehow that goes away for a boundary. The idea for them to pick up victory could have been cutting off the boundaries, but some sloppiness there in that bit of fielding from Jackson Asiku. He put the opportunity down, chased it, but didn't put in enough to cut off the boundary. In a comfortable cruising seat, the Kitimba Sunrisers just striding on to victory. Use of the wrist. 2 is the call, but straight under the nose of Serwada. They will just take 1. But the equation already in the favor of the Kitimba Sunrisers. They need just 23 runs from 68 balls with 9 wickets at hand and a scoring rate of just 2 every over. Could see them go past the line. That is it straight by Hamidu Munyigwa. Fielders running round it. And the running for Hamidu Munyigwa and Amos Ahura will see them pick up comfortable 2 runs.
The Sunrisers in a hurry to get this match to an end. Sun is out here at the Florida Cricket Oval. Mujuni with the final ball of this over. Rising on Amos, bringing us to the end of the 5th over. The score is 48 runs for the loss of 1 for the Sunrisers. Ivan, the World Cup featuring 2 teams from the Southern Hemisphere and 2 teams from the Northern Hemisphere, and by coincidence none facing each other, so champion will emerge from one hemisphere probably, but most money is on India winning, being at home.
Yeah, they have choked in a few games, and when you look at their record in T20s, it's really a very good record. So clearly India has a chance of winning that game, but that game tomorrow between India and England will be decisive because it will be played at a very small ground, the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, the home of the Mumbai Indians, where that game will be played tomorrow. 7 p.m. I beg your pardon, 5 p.m. in India, whereas it will be 4:30 here in East Africa. So it's going to be a decisive game. There's a bowling change that pays dividends. Tossed up there by Jaffa Ochaya. Hamidu Munyigwa going for power instead of control, plays it back to the bowler. Catch is taken, caught and bowled, and Hamid falls for 23 off 14.
Hamid taking the long walk back to the dugout as we look at that once again from Ochaya. Head going up and only directing the ball in the waiting hands of the bowler. Second wicket falls in this second innings.
Second wicket falls. Maybe a breather. They'll need many of these wickets if they have to make sure that they keep the pressure on the Ssenyi Warriors. Another aggressive batter makes his way to the crease, Robert Owili. Many nickname him Obede, brother to Ogwang Wilfred, player for Soroti State Cricket Club, and Omara Ronald, a player for Ceylon Lions. Owili and Omara have both played for the Uganda under-19. Their sons, including their brother who was at Chambogo College back in the years in Ogwang Wilfred, their father is a policeman in the Ginger Road Barracks. Not sure of his rank, but these two born and bred from the Ginger Road Barracks played a lot of their cricket at Logogo Cricket Oval. And now Robert Owili will have to do the finisher job because they don't want this innings to drag on. That's drifting away completely from him, and the dotty ball there for Jaffa Ochaya. Robert Owili previously playing for Budo, the now Centurions, but he made ends and he joined the Pak Shahins, one of the new teams in the league, playing in the 3rd division. 2 dot balls. Owili's innings yet to get going.
Owili ably chaperoning the St. John's Kauga SS boys in last year's boys cricket week, reaching the finals but unable to cross that hurdle to become champions, with Mwiri coming up to finally pick up one. Of course, Mwiri record champions.
We see some power there from that man you gave flowers, Robert Owili, going for power and manages to send that one over the head of Kao Corner. It was in the slot, and he made sure that he goes for power. The ball was there for the hitting, and Robert Owili brought up his energy. Another flashing blade. Will it run away? Yes. It also runs away to the boundary. Back boundaries mark at the end of the over. The over started so well. A single off the first ball, a wicket off the second ball. 2 dot balls, but 10 at the back end. Jaffa's first over has gone for 11, but that's the replay there. The ball was over pitched and outside. Robert Owili pouncing onto it, and he brought up the boundary. And at the end of the 6th, scoreboard reads 59 for a loss of 2.
10 runs away for the Sunrisers to achieve their 2nd victory in this competition. Of course, early days, this is only match day 3, and there is still hope for the Warriors, the Giants, all those teams that have lost, because there are plenty of matches. Gives them opportunity to make adjustments, these losses, see what fits and cut off the excess.
Just 10 for the victory, and the man who got the first wicket for the side has been given the ball. He changes bowling ends. Jackson Asiku, his first over went for just 2 runs, and he picked up a wicket in that over. He managed to get rid of the first batter. Glance there from Amos Ahura, and a single for Jackson Asiku to start off the over.
The countdown is already on.
Of course, the countdown is on as the required is now under a digit.
One in the block hole from Asiku, trying to prolong this match. But it seems like the Sunrisers are well on their way to another victory. We returns that single into a double with a fumble at long on.
The fumble is because they have dropped their shoulders. The Ssenyi Warriors, they didn't put enough runs, and looks like at this time they have already considered defeat. They have accepted that, yeah, this game has slid out of hands. Swings hard but doesn't make contact, and wide is the call from the umpire. More runs on board.
The most dangerous thing on a cricket pitch is not living in the moment, Ivan, as it is a fast-paced game. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen, and yes, it happens. Power from Robert Owili. He doesn't play that one out of his gates. The leg stump is uprooted, and the third wicket for the Kitimba Sunrisers goes out of nothing. Jackson Asco returns and he pecks. Robert Owili goes. Scoreboard reads 3 wickets gone with 63 runs on board.
The Sunrisers now proving to be characteristically up for the game at the tail end of it. Something that happened in their first match yesterday, in a run chase that seemed doomed. The last few players coming in and only losing by 7 runs. So you need to apply yourself throughout the whole game. It is every single ball you are on point. And now they're picking up wickets, but they will be left to rue all the missed opportunities. We have an interesting encounter in the afternoon game in this tournament, with the Nsonga Royals facing the Kachanga Giants. The Giants coming off a win, while the Royals have a loss.
It will be happening right at this very ground, 2 p.m. East African time. And the conditions have been better for cricket because they have not seen too much rain here in Florida. And the sun is already out, but David Sebayiga is the new batter in. Not the best of foot movement, but there is some bat onto that one. David Sebayiga comes in when his side needs just 6 runs from 55 balls for victory. Clearly, I don't see this one slipping out of the hands of the Kitimba Sunrisers, who have done immensely well in the innings thus far.
Sebayiga is a confident, is a capable batter, but only the down point is the confidence. He lacks a lot of confidence. And with that dot ball, we come to the end of the 7th over. Score is 63 runs for the loss of 3 wickets for the Sunrisers.
Jackson Asiku has had 2 fine spells. His first over went for just 2 runs. He comes in his second, he gives away 4 runs, but he's made sure that every time he gets the ball in his hands, he picks up a wicket. It might be just a cameo from him because they don't have so many runs to defend, as just 6 runs are needed for victory. It will be Wahid Serwada Abdul Ahmed to bowl. A hit would properly see us call this game set and match. But Serwada has the ball coming in from the road end. Tournament sponsored by Kings, the Children's Medical Center, Deep End Sports Media, and organized by Cricket Uganda and Mukono Cricket Community. Sam Wedith left alone. By the way, it is the call from the umpire. A sharp outswing there from Wahid Ahmed Wahab Serwada. The man has so many Muslim names, but somehow you're fixing a Serwada there, which is quite indigenous here in Uganda.
Sometimes the parents are undecided on one particular name, and they will decide to settle for all the names that they can think of. But Serwada continues. Played over Gali. First single by Ahura.
That was well guided. Sorada was bowling some outswing, but Ahura making sure that he is in full control of that shot, playing it over Augustine Atigale, and just a single to reduce the deficit to 5. And with Davis Sebanyika on strike, the two fielders at Kao corner and long on come inside the circle. Fortunate Alijuna looking for ways of trying to make sure that he keeps the pressure on. Not a very good idea. He could have just opened up his blade and tried and make sure that he gets that one down. He might feather it to the wicket keeper if he's not cautious. Davis yet to get off the mark. None of 3 for him. But somehow the openers, Hamidu Munyigwa, Robert Owili, have made sure that they keep the game close to where they can easily snatch it and take it. Changes in the field. The captain goes to Gali, just replacing Augusta at that same position. There was an appeal there of a stamping, but looks like Davis Sebanyika had gone back to his crease.
Just desperate cries. The batter fully aware of his surroundings, shadowing the required shot, as is common with most cricketers.
Very common in involvement cricket. They play the wrong shot and shadow the correct shot. Hit up in the air, but there is a fielder. Catch is taken there by Mbazira Charles. And another one goes. Davis Sebanyika's struggles have come to an end. He falls for a duck after facing 4 deliveries. Scoreboard reading 65 for 3 after 7.3.
Put out of his misery, playing to a rising ball and having to take that trudge back to the dugout. Pinpoint bowling from Wahid. Simple catch to the man at cover. The fat lady clearly preparing to sing in this encounter between the Sunrisers and the Warriors.
Still a proper hit away for victory. Just 4 runs needed in 51 balls. Wickets have fallen, but somehow the openers have put something solid for the rest of the batters to operate with. And Abdul Aziz Tandia, who can finish this game in 1 hit, is the new batter in, replacing Davis Sebanyika. 65 for 4 after 7.4. And Abdul Aziz Tandia there makes his way to the crease.
It would take an immense collapse for the Sunrisers not to get home. Renewed energy from the Warriors, but it might be a little bit too late.
Yeah, Abdul Aziz Tandia there showing some bit of confidence. He doesn't panic. He hits the ball. There were shouts and cries right from the dugout, but he says no. There are enough balls, and I know the bad one will come my way. I said Abdul Aziz Tandia can hit the ball. He flicks that one. Does it go over the fielder? No. A catch is taken there at mid-wicket. Nasul Damadi and Abdul Aziz Tandia perishes. He goes without over-disturbing the scorers. Just an run off 2. But somehow looks like this game is not yet over.
Leg side line from Wahid. Tandia trying to glance that ball, but doesn't go beyond the 30-yard for Nasul to complete the catch. And the Warriors are making this game very interesting at the moment. The Sunrisers trying their level best to throw it away with victory in sight.
I think the issue with that shot there from Abdul Aziz Tandia, there was no power in it. But the anticipation and judgment there from the youngster. Just saw him make sure that Nasudamadi completes that catch.
He was expecting quicker pace, which would just require a glance using the pace of the bowler, but the pace was not there, and without little effort, couldn't go over the fielder.
2 wickets in Abdulaziz Tandia's first over, and at the end of the 8th, scoreboard reads 65 for a loss of 5. Kenneth Ogenroth is the new batter in, and Jackson Asiku gets the ball to bowl the 9th over. Halfway the innings, that is flashed, misjudged by Chiberu. Does it run to the fences? Yes, it runs the boundaries, and it's game, set, and match. Somehow they kept the pressure on, kept themselves alive in the game. But Hadadi Chiberu squanders it away, and that boundary there from Amos Ahura will be the wrap-up of this game.
That would have certainly made the match interesting. No movement towards the ball from Chiberu. Ball bounces in front of him and trickles over the boundary for the required runs to complete the second innings of this match. The Chitamba Sunrisers have won by 5 wickets in this first game of match day 3.
Chitamba Sunrisers picking up the victory on match day 3. Chiberu being the most guilty party. First time we are seeing a team batting second winning the game. And a quick look at the scorecard between the Ssenyi Warriors and the Chitamba Sunrisers. Ssenyi Warriors won the toss and opted to bat first, but they were bowled out for 68 in 13.2 overs. Nothing much to talk about their scorecard, as they are no double figures whatsoever, only single digits. And on the bowling card, Raymond Kagera's 3 wickets and Hamid Munyuga's 3 wickets proved decisive, whereas Abdul Aziz Tandia and Jovan Komagom picked 2 wickets apiece. Hamid Munyugwa in the run chase came and scored 23 of 15. He is already main player of match candidate, whereas Amos Ahura added 16 of 9. Robert Owili 12 of 7, 10 extras given away, and in the end it was game, set, and match. 2 wickets apiece for Wahid Ahmed Serwada and Jackson Asiku, whereas 1 wicket was taken by Jaffa Ochaya. But in the end, the victory went the way of the Chitamba Sunrisers, a 5 wickets victory. There will be another interesting match in the afternoon at 2 p.m. starting an action-packed game between the Songa Royals and the Kachanga Giants. It's a wrap-up for now, game, set, and match. My name is Evan Sipian Sajabi here in the comms, and my co-commentator Solomon Wamachigozi will be coming to you shortly for the post-match presentation, the congratulations, and the commiserations. So make sure that you don't go anywhere until then.
After a very competitive match on game day number 3, the Sunrisers against the Warriors. The Sunrisers have managed to win by 5 wickets, and I will have a word first with the Warriors captain. Fortunate, hard luck upon this loss. You started out, you won the toss and elected to bat, but we are unable to push on.
Yeah, I think it was a tough outing for us, especially with the bat. We are opting to put some decent score, which we didn't do. We lost so early wickets. I think that cost us a game. I think we should do better coming to the top order. We think we shall revise our KPIs and see how we can go about the loss and maybe pick up a win in the next game.
Did the reduced overs have any influence coming off the first game as well? Reduced overs, so the batters were not able to stay there.
Not because only 4 overs were reduced. I think 16 was some good overs. I think they didn't really influence our decisions of losing wickets, but what I know that it gave us chance to stay on the wicket, of which we didn't do. It was calling for more of us sticking on. You really do.
And commiserations to you. You'll have to go and work on yourselves. Let me have a word with the winning captain, Amos Ahura. You have now made it 2 out of 2. Confidence must be high in the camp.
Exactly. I trust my team. All the field is doing well, the batting field and the bowling side. So I really trust my team at the moment. They are doing the work very well.
You lost the toss and were put into bat, but stood up to the task.
Like I told you earlier, our plan was to bowl first because of the conditions. The ground was wet, so I really had trust in my bowlers. I knew they would do my job. Really restricted them from a low score. Our target were defending 50, but we shot by 15 runs, which wasn't bad for us because we knew in the dugout our batting side would come and cover up. So it was a really good job from our young boys. So kudos to them.
And then coming out very hard and confidently in the power play.
Yeah, we trust our batters. Hamid Munigwa hitting that ball. He was on our plan. We wanted to chase it easily so that our net run rate can go higher. So, because the table is tight as you can see, so it was part of our plan.
Congratulations once again. And we are going to award the man of match. And with me is umpire Rosten Alumansi. The man of the match is Hamid Munigwa. And I'll have a word with the man of match. Yes, congratulations. Batted well and bowled well.
Yeah, I just had to keep the simple things simple, not making things hard, keep the line straight, tight line, and then for the batting side, any bad ball punish it, any good ball respect it or get a single. Yeah, that's what I got.
Well, indeed, very good strategy from you, and that enabled you to win man of match. Congratulations. And that is it from the match presentation from this match.